Hello and welcome to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. We have another great show for you. We have a very wonderful treat for you today. We have with us Solomon Shazam Cunner, who is lead singer and founding member of H-Town, the multi-platinum R&B Hall of Fame supergroup. He's here to talk to us today about his solo career and also his single Pac-Man that just recently came out and is on number 4 on the Billboard charts. We're going to talk about all those things. But before we start, I wanted to talk to Shazam about Houston, Texas, because there have been so many mega hit musicians that have come out of there. And I just wanted to start with there. That's your home. That's where you're from. Tell us about growing up in Houston and what led to the formation of H-Town in your singing career.
Well, growing up in Houston, man, is basically, man, is all we know, all I know. You know what I'm saying? We kind of grew up in the projects and everything, but it was more like we learned how to survive, by living in the projects and kind of life coming up a little rough, but not too rough, but rough.
Mhm.
But we learned a lot of survival skills, and then what we by us being in the project, it made us want to get out the projects. It made us
Right.
want to try to do something with our lives to get our mom and get our family out the project. So kind of, I come from a musical background.
Hmm.
So, seeing my uncles and my family play music and, my grandmothers can sing, a lot of my uncles, a lot of my great uncles and I just come from a musical family. So it just made me kind of want to, change my life and say, oh man, okay, instead of just in these projects or dealing with drugs and all that, going to jail, maybe
Hmm.
I can do this. This is something to get us out the project. So that's kind of how I came about. I was saying, man, let's just sing and we use our talent to get us out, and then it helped got us out.
Right. Right. Was that something that you always wanted to do? Sing? How did that come about for you? For you? I mean, I know you were surrounded by that, but what did you like about it? What did it do for you?
Well, I think, man, we always admired other artists that was on TV, like Michael Jackson and
Hmm.
watching New Edition and,
Hmm.
Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass. So we always knew it was something that we really want to do.
Hmm.
But I think for me is that at the time, I think it was groups like New Edition, the kid groups, and then I was thinking, the kid groups are not in anymore. Then I
Right.
seen a group called The Boys. When I
Hmm.
seen The Boys, I was like, I told my brother, I said, man, kids can still make it. They're around about the same age as us. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's when I really was like, oh, kids can make it. Maybe we
Hmm.
can make it and get our parents and get out the ghetto, get out the project. So um, we always knew we could sing, and we did a lot of talent shows in Houston and everything. But it's like when being surrounded by them, when I started seeing groups making like The Boys, and
Hmm.
there's a group called the Neutrons back in those days, even High Five at the time.
Right.
They was a little bit before us. I
Hmm.
was like, oh, okay, these groups are young like us and they making careers. And at this time, I'm thinking, oh, they making a lot of money and get their parents out. So I kind of just like went into the same thing. Like, hey, man, let me do this
Right.
and we can get out. And we end up actually uh, landing a record deal and made it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you and your brother, your twin brother, uh, Kevin Dino Connor, and your friend Darryl G.I. Jackson, you all did this in high. You formed a band in high school. Is that correct?
Yeah. Basically we lived in the same projects, and
Okay.
we wasn't originally in a group. Gi was more of a rapper and a
Okay.
DJ,
Okay.
and he was a rapper and a DJ. And then me and my brother, we had a group, and we just kind of like went to an audition for somebody that was looking for to put a group out.
Right.
But at the time, they didn't want a duet, and then they didn't want a rapper. So they don't. So they were like, but they wanted a group. So at the time, Gi was there.
Right.
So we decided to form a group with him because he was like musically inclined, trying to, but he was more trying to make it as a rapper than a
Right.
singer. But he could sing. And he's like, I
Okay.
can do both. I can sing too. So we kind of like, okay, man, since he's here and the other guy we have, We had other members, but they never would stick to it or they would get in trouble. So
Right,
G.I. seemed pretty serious about his career. So we kind of put him in a group, me and my brother group, and then it just happened from there.
right. So it was the three of you all, and you were called originally the Gents. Is that
The
right?
Gents, yes.
And how did you all go from the Gents to H Town?
When we got our deal with Luke, we were just all sitting around. Luke was like, the Gents, that's not going to work. That sounds like some fraternity, frat,
Right, right,
that
right,
ain't going to work. So,
right.
we were just like all thinking around. He was like, we were just coming up with names. And then we was like, what about H-Town? You know what I'm saying? Represent your city. You know what I'm saying? We were like,
Hmm.
yeah, because we want to do something anyway to put our city on the map. So that's why we named ourselves H-Town. So we was like, when y'all just represent y'all city, H-Town. He was like, yeah, that's a good idea because that's what we want to do. We want to put our city on the map. So
Right.
we named ourselves H-Town to put Houston, Texas on the map. And that's how that came about.
And that's exactly what you all did with your debut album Fever for the Flavor, which was released April 15th, 1993. You achieved um, a hit status in the United States with Knocking the Boots, which my wife would not stop singing yesterday when I told her I was interviewing you
Yeah.
today. But it became your biggest hit and also your signature song. Um, what was that like? Tell us about what that was like to be number one, to have the hit song at number one.
Oh man, it was like a dream. Like you almost pinching yourself. Did this really just happen? Is this really real? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think for me, going number one was one thing, but I think for me when I went to London, England, and out of
Mhm.
the country, and Japan, and Germany, and Australia, and these people knew who I was. That kind of
Right.
amazed me more than ever, because I was like, wow, they really know who H Town is out of these countries.
Right.
So, and then to achieve just multiple hits, you know what I'm saying? Everybody say Knockin Da Boots, but we had like a really several like 8 top 10 hits
Mhm.
that was
Mhm.
really just that made the era just like our career so much sweeter. So it
Right.
was just like, man, even now sometimes I'm like, wow. I mean, even after 30 some years, I still get paid to do what I love to do. And
Right.
I still figure out a way to survive and stay relevant and still make money off of my craft.
Right. Right. What advice do you give? Because you were a teenager, you were just getting into adulthood when all this started happening. What advice do you give to young musical artists who were, nowadays you could release your album on YouTube and or Spotify and not, have to do record labels or whatever. What advice do you give to people who are starting out from scratch, who are starting out new on the music scene? What advice do you offer them, especially now with technology?
Well, I would just say try to be original. Try to, be original and try to make music that can stand 10, 15, 20 years from now. That's one thing I think H-Town, we was fortunate that we have music that we did years ago, but it
Hmm.
still stood the test of time, still
Hmm.
get played on the radio all over the world. Um, and so I would tell guys, try to be original and try to make music that can become, instead of becoming a gimmick, it can become a classic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
And to learn the business. Get business, pick up a couple of books on the music business, and
Mhm.
learn about your publishing and masters and stuff like that. Get a good lawyer that's on your team that's gonna really be in your best interest, a good management team, and just kind of learn the business. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe find a mentor that has been in the business before that can kind of guide you through what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. 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 So right after that album was released, you all won the Soul Train Music Award for Best New Artist, and I'm sure just like all black children, you all watched Soul Train. Did you ever
Yeah.
think one day you were going to get a Soul Train award?
I really didn't never have an idea that I would, but that was like that was like winning a Grammy to me because I
Hmm.
have been watching Soul Train all my life. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Watching it and just to be on it, to perform and say, wow, I actually
Right.
performed on Soul Train. And
Hmm.
to see how everything was done was phenomenal for me. So to win a Soul Train award was like a dream come true. And it was like everybody talk about the Grammys, but that's my Grammy to me. You
Right.
know what I'm
That's right.
saying?
That's right. That's right. Um, you told us told us how awesome it was to go out of out of the country and find out that people knew who you all were. Was that something that you ever thought would ever happen, like being able to go outside of the United States? You all were working to better your family's life to just get out the projects. So not only did you get out of Houston and Texas, but you went all around the world. What was that like for you inside to know that you all had accomplished that goal?
I just felt like, man, it was a blessing. I said, man, God has opened up a blessing for us because I was just like, it, I didn't really know how far it was gonna go. And
Hmm.
sometimes I didn't even really believe that we was that famous. But I think when I really started to believe it is when I went out the country and
Hmm.
then we started doing back in the days you would do in stores and you go in the mall and the whole mall is shut
Right,
down
right, right,
and or you do an in store and you got thousands of people show up to get an autograph of you. So that's when I really started to be like, wow, we really have made and done it. But one thing I have learned in this business, even though you make it, you got to also sustain it and continue to find ways to keep yourself in the game, you know what I'm
right.
saying? Even if you just continue to tour, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because for a minute we got idle for a while. And sometimes when you go idle, you have to try to work your way back up. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
learned that
right.
too, you know what I'm saying, by
Mhm.
being idle. So that's why like now I always continue to try to stay busy doing something, dropping music, whether it's, stay on the road, until I'm just ready to say I'm ready to retire. I'm not ready to retire right now.
Right, 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 right. From there, you all appeared in the group Black Men United, where you all actually got to perform with
Yeah.
some of the people you all had listened to growing up. What was that like to be in that room with all those groups that you all had heard on the radio before you all got started? What was that like? That.
That was like, man, a good thing. It made me think of We Are the World.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
our We Are the World of 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta
Mm-hmm.
to do a song with all your peers, all the other groups. And like you said, a lot of those groups was before us because H-Town was considered like the babies of the 90s. We was like the baby.
Mm-hmm.
We came in kind of last, Silk and SWV and Shaw,
Mm-hmm.
all these groups
Mm-hmm.
kind of been out there before us, but Knockin Da Boots was so big, it's like we
Mm-hmm.
came and caught them. it's like
Right,
it's like
right,
they was
right,
out there, but we came
right,
like with like a Russian wave, and now we right there with them. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
that's kind
right.
of how it went for us, But yeah, it was cool, man. Kevin Campbell was on there, Usher,
Mhm, mhm.
Elder Borge, I think, Gerald Levert, Brian McKnight. So it was an honor, man, a pleasure to be able to perform with my peers and do a song with some of the guys that I had watched. They kind of got in before I got in, and I
Right,
and they better that show how successful H Town was to be able to come up to that big and be on the same level as them.
right, right. Absolutely love that song, and that song was on the Jason Lyric soundtrack. That's a great song, and it's so many black male artists together. Like you said, it is on the level of We Are the World. It was
Yeah,
a very powerful song. Then you all did it again. You all did a Thin Line Between Love and Hate, a rendition of that with Shirley Murdoch and
yeah.
I have his name and I just forgot it.
Roger Troutman.
Roger Trotman of Zap, and that was certified gold. What was that
Yes,
like? What was that like for you all?
it's the same thing, man. We was just remarkable. It was remarkable for us to be able to do. Legend. Shirley was a legend. So the
Hmm.
collab with two legends was an honor for us, man. And they really started to take H Town serious after that record. So
Right,
because
right,
we
right.
kind of became the soundtrack kings. You put a let H Town do your new soundtrack,
That's right.
the movie
That's right.
blows up.
That's
We
right.
did that, then we turned around and did another soundtrack for Part Time Lover. Was on a Martin Lawrence, it was on the Above the Rim Tupac movie soundtrack. So
Right.
we was doing our thing back then.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you all were doing all of this, and how did life change for you? What I mean during this time, what was going through your mind as you all kept, soundtrack after soundtrack, hit after hit? Um, how was it growing up that way? I mean, like becoming
Um,
an adult
it
during
came with
that
a lot
time.
of, came with a lot of most definitely fame and
Hmm.
a lot of fame and temptation, with the women and getting into things you didn't have no business getting in um making more money than we ever made before, but not
Right.
what we're supposed to make, but making more
Mm.
than, and then you think it's gonna last forever. So I think, a lot of partying, the money that we did make, we blew a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? I cheated out a lot of money, but we also, the money we did make, we blew a lot of it too.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it just came along with a lot, at a young age. And sometimes you think it's going to be there forever. And then one day it just all of a sudden come to a little halt, and then you
Hmm.
got to figure out your way back through the music business to get back on top.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Um, you all suffered a tragedy with the loss of your brother. Was there any? I mean, I know you all started this together, H Town together. Was there ever a time where you thought, I'm not going to do this anymore without him, or was it that the love of music that you all had and how you all started together kept you going on?
Well,
What was it?
I went through a 2-year period to where, I was like, I'm not going to do it. It's like, but I knew nothing else. All I ever did was, but I was like, if I had to put a third member in the group, I was not going to do it because some of the labels are trying to get me to put another member in the group, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. I can't.
Right.
I don't
Right.
want to perform with another person in my group. And I would
Hmm.
tell the labels, if it's not me and just me and GI, then there is no deal.
Right.
So we started our own label, H Town Music. So we started to put some of our music out on our own. But the
Hmm.
problem was the music, we didn't have the big budgets and the major machines, so the music wasn't doing like it did the first time when we
Right.
came out. But
Hmm.
it did good enough to help bring us back to the industry to put the light back on H Town, let them know we can still put records out, we can still perform. So it was more like right now I'm still independent right now. It's like so at that time, I was like, I'm gonna let it go. But then the fans started like, no, we want to see more. So I kind of more did it for the fans. And
Right.
then when the people accepted just me and GI, the H time, just me and GI now, that's what gave me the drop to go back and say, okay, let me go ahead and do this for the fans and keep the legacy alive and also keep my brother legacy alive, Dino,
Right.
very alive. So that's what I've been doing.
Right, right. So tell us now about your solo career. You've had some hit songs, and I've visited your YouTube page, and people are giving you praise and telling you how much they love you. And you're again not just here, but all over the world, in like Indonesia and Brazil and Poland, and like
Mm.
man, everybody knows who you are. Tell us what it was like to go from being in a group to now being solo.
Well, the thing about it is that uh sometimes when everything is on you when you're doing the solo project. Like when you hit the stage, you don't have your partner over there to help you out.
Right.
Everything you gotta do everything on your own. But it
Mhm.
just the thing about it is I have a vision to just do lots of music. Like I'm doing some solo stuff, but I'm also doing some H Town stuff too. And
Right.
we're gonna do H Town, and I want to put some other artists out. But it just to be solo, it's just more like showing another accomplishment. I did it in H Town. Now I want to do something on my own and
Mhm.
to kind of stand and say, "Oh, okay, I did that as Shazam Connor." You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the difference, and it just showing the growth of seeing how other people did it. Bobby Brown she did some solo
Right.
stuff, and
Mhm.
then New Edition come back together. Johnny Gill did some solo stuff, and then New Edition
Mhm.
come back together. Ralph Chesney did some solo stuff, and New Edition come together. So I just want to experiment while I'm still young enough to just dibble and dabble a little bit. I want to into some plays and movies. So it's a little bit. It's the entertainment business. I'm in the entertainment business, so I want to do it
Right.
all right now.
Right. 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 And again, like I said, Pac-Man is at number 4 on the Billboard Dance Electronic Billboard. That's awesome. You also had another one that came out,
Strokey
Stroke.
dope.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about those two singles. Tell us
Well,
what they're
Strokey
about.
dope I believe is one of the it's the honeymoon song. It's a wedding song. A lot of people don't
Hmm.
realize the song Strokey Dope It's a honeymoon song. And it's also Shazam Carter and H-Town, you know what I'm saying? So what I did was I Shazam Carter, but also I did a record with my H-Town on the record with me to also keep the name H-Town alive.
Hmm.
But it's a honeymoon song. It's a song that's talking about two people that just got married and they're on a honeymoon. They go to Hawaii, they're in the Caribbeans, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I believe like could be one of the biggest honeymoons because everybody talk about wedding song, but they only talk about the ceremony, but not the actual honeymoon.
Right,
So
right.
it's I call it the honeymoon song.
Okay.
So it's like now I've been waiting all these years to do the strokey dope, basically to make love to my wife.
Right,
And now I'm married, I can make love to you, do the strokey dope, we on a honeymoon. And
right.
then Pac-Man is just more of a song of saying, every woman needs a Pac-Man, a man that's gonna please them, saying basically just in every way, take care of them in every way, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what Pac-Man is about.
That's right.
Pleasing
That's
your
right.
woman.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So when will your full album, your solo album drop? Will it be this year? And what is
Well,
coming up soon?
we're looking at next year. We're probably gonna be
Okay.
dropping the whole project around February or March, but that's what we're looking at to try to get the whole project out.
Okay. Okay. But you're still, again, like you said, H Town is still together.
Yes,
Um,
H Town is still together. I have not left H Town. I'm just doing a solo project. I don't. Me and G got talk. He work on doing a little project or a single or something. So you're just doing different things, and it's a new age and day. A new age, new day, a new time. So you got to do multiple things to be able to survive in this industry and to keep yourself relevant. You know what I'm saying?
that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. So I see. I looked online and it said that you were going to be part of a R&B Halloween block party in London this Sunday.
Well,
Is that correct? Oh, no,
I
that's
think
old.
that's
That's old. I'm
last
sorry.
year.
That's old. Yeah,
That's
that was
last year.
last year. I'm sorry. That was last year. But you are part of the
The
R&B music experience. Is that going on too?
we'll probably the R&B kickback tour, the
Okay.
R&B kickback tour.
Kickback tour. Okay.
The 90s R&B kickback tour. We're on that tour right there with Young Fly Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also have like Friday, November 3rd, next week, you'll be in Durham, North Carolina with
Yes, most
Drew
definitely.
Hill and Donnell Jones. Um,
Yes.
tell us about what that's like to have fans from the 90s who grew up with you all and also fans today who are just discovering your music now.
It's refreshing because a lot of time I'll be thinking people like 21, 22 don't know what I am. And I ask them, I say, oh, how do you know me? Man, my
Right,
mama listens to y'all every day in the house.
right.
And I thought about it. I said, well, when Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder was hot, I probably was either not born or I was real little.
Mhm,
But I did
mhm,
learn from Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and all these people from my
mhm,
mother, listening
mhm.
to it, listening to it in the house. So that's really refreshing when I hear somebody 24, 25, or 22, they know who I am, or they know and they
Right,
start singing Knockin Da Boots or one of our songs. So it's
right,
refreshing. You know what I'm saying? It's really refreshing.
right, right, right. Anything you like to say to your fans? I mean, we have a few more minutes. We have about 6 more minutes before we wrap up the
I
show.
would like to tell my fans, man, that hey, man, um, Shazam Connor, the Shazam Connor project will be dropping real soon. They can download the Strokey Dope is on all major platforms. The song Pac-Man is on all major platforms. And we will be coming to a city near you, H-Town. We're on tour right now. So just kind of follow me on Instagram at Shazam of H-Town, at Shazam of H-Town. And you can go in there and look and see the schedule and everything like that. And also I have a Strokey Dope open verse contest right now going on where you get the song and you can rap scene. You may get a chance, you can rap on the song with Strokey Dope. And
Okay,
we may end up we may pick a winner and release the song out of remix as a single. You know what I'm saying?
that's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
you may do it like that. So
That's awesome. Can I ask you where you get your nickname from? Where you got Shazam from?
Actually, I got Shazam. It actually came from a comic book. It's a
Yes,
the
yes.
comic book, the superhero name Shazam. So
The Wisdom of
uh,
Solomon. That was one. That's what the S stands for. The Wisdom of Solomon. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So that's why it kind of matched up together.
Uh-huh.
So that's why it's power. Spontaneous, unique. Shazam was unique, so I've always felt like I've been unique in my own way. I
Hmm.
always, have my own style, the way I think. Nobody thinks the way I think. I always think outside the box. A
Hmm.
lot of things I do, people are like, why is he doing this? But I just think different from everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
That's
I'm
right.
always doing something that's I always the bar high, and I'm like I like to test things, whether it win it or it lose, I test it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's right. That's right.
Because sometimes that's how you get the greatness. You got to test stuff. You
Right.
know.
Pave the way. Go the path less taken. Um, tell people how they can find you. What social media platforms they can find you on.
Well, I'm also on TikTok at
Okay.
Shazam of H Town on TikTok. I'm on IG, Instagram at Shazam of H Town. The best one to really reach me are really at Shazam of H Town because it's certified. That's why I do more of my. I'm really active on there. It's a blue check on there, so it's me. So I would say really hit me at Shazam of H Town to really find me and find out what I'm doing and everything I'm doing.
All right. All right. Well, we thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your time to talk to you about your life and what you're doing in your career. And we hope and pray that you continue to have much success. We really appreciate it. We've enjoyed your music throughout the years, and we're looking forward to that new album. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you all for tuning in to Hub City Now. We hope you all make sure check out Shazam on tour. Go to all the streaming services and play his music and buy his singles and make sure you support him and let him know that you love him, you care about him. There's again so many people who were sending you up praises on YouTube and Spotify and everywhere. So you're doing something that's reaching people and touching people, and we thank you for your music and everything that you've done throughout the years. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care of one another, watch out for one another, and make sure you check out Shazam's music and his music videos and comment and let him know that you're out there supporting him. You all take care and have a wonderful week. God bless.